Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yeah, I know, Abby. The notification didn't go out. I think went out. I think it went out late. So y'all are coming in now. Welcome, 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 everyone, everyone. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I had a pretty good weekend. Those of you who are on my Instagram, you saw that I was able to spend time with family that I have not seen in over a year. Not in person. I was able to hug and we were able to talk and laugh and do the things that we normally do. And yesterday was almost a moment of normalcy. We didn't cook out. We didn't cook any food on the grill or anything like that. But just us being able to hang out, watch a little bit of basketball, the playoffs. This one little piece of hair, it just keep doing what it want to do. And I have tried everything with that little piece of hair, it just keep coming back. But it was a great day yesterday. I told y'all I would try to come back, but I didn't get home until after 9 o'clock last night. So sorry that I wasn't able to get back. So what's up? Let me welcome all those who have dropped down. Of course, my girl Ibs is here. Hey, Shakira. Hey, Tracy, Lauren. Hey, so Jeff, finally here on time. Well, welcome. Glad to see you, sir. Glad you made it. I'm sorry. New Jones, Lock Queen. Hey, Miss Bowen, Brandon, L Love, Lauren. Hey, Charbert, Dominique, Lil Baby. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome. Glad to see you guys. Hope everybody had a great Memorial Day weekend. Remember that Memorial Day is a day that is set aside to remember all of those that we lost in combat. So to any family members who may have that experience in their family, I send that out to you guys. That yesterday was that day for your family. Also, yesterday was the 100th anniversary of the Tulsa race riot. Some people like to call it Black Wall Street. If you are familiar with the story, you are familiar with the story. If you are not familiar with the story, just go Google it. There's been a lot going on with that story. Oh, shoot. You know what? Hold on. Hold on. Oops. Okay. Because there's something I do want to tell you guys. You guys are probably familiar with the Tulsa race riot. However, there is some new information that is out in reference to yesterday. Joe Biden did mark that 100th anniversary. He commemorated it and he spoke on it. There are a few survivors that still are here. They're very, very, very few. Of course, anybody that is still here was a child. At that time, it wouldn't have remembered a whole lot about it. But there is a commission. There is a commission that to commemorate it, to say, to keep the memory alive, to tell the real story and not the whitewashed version of the story. But remember, if you follow myself and El Teddy on the Teacher Project 2.0, we spoke about this a little bit in reference to the fact that they are trying to, with this, with this whitewashing of American history, one of the things that they want to take out of in Oklahoma back in the 1990s, I think it was late 80s, early 90s, I believe. I don't have the exact date in front of me, but for a long time, the Tulsa race riots were not spoken of. Nobody outside of the area of Tulsa really knew anything about it. They didn't speak on it. Nobody talked about it. It wasn't in nobody's history books. And then, like in the late 80s, early 90s, there was a legislation that was brought about in Tulsa to do a commission on it. And the commission was done. And as a result of the commission, there was some reparations given to the descendants of the riots, and also a massacre. And also, one of the things that came out of that commission was that the Tulsa race riots will be taught as a part of Oklahoma history. So it is a part of the history of the state of Oklahoma. If you go to high school anywhere, or probably elementary school, anywhere in the state of Oklahoma, that is a part of the curriculum, is that you learn about the Tulsa massacre, right? So one of the things, there's legislation right now that is before the state legislature, or on the way to the state legislature, to petition that this be removed. So remember, when El Teddy and I are talking about this whitewashing of America and this critical race theory that's sweeping the country, this is one of the things that we're talking about. And specifically in Oklahoma, the legislature, and I mean, not everybody, obviously, but there has been legislature, I'm trying to find the correct word, for lack of a better word, attempted legislature to remove teaching about the Tulsa massacre out of the history books. So again, you guys, remember, this is the kind of stuff that we're talking about, that you have to keep your eye on, that you have to be mindful of. And even though you don't live in Oklahoma, Oklahoma ain't the only place that there's ever been a massacre. It's not the only place that this has ever happened. As a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to pull up in a minute some other places for you guys to Google. If you've already read up on Tulsa, you feel like you're pretty, okay, I know all about Tulsa. Okay, that's fine that you know what you need to know, but there's absolutely more. You just saw Miss Viola Fletcher, who was 107 years old, and she gave her comments on it. She's still very well spoken and articulate. I was in tears. Yeah. Thank Zap said Kevin is crazy to begin with. Yeah. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Miss Sharon. Yeah, I saw Miss Viola, Miss Fletcher, and it was like two men that I saw. So let me but there's a petition before the courts right now to exhume the bodies, so that they could give them a proper burial, but also to examine how these people were killed. Because, let's remember, these people, the people who were left behind literally were running for their lives. Like, they literally, most of them, a lot of them, I don't want to use the word most, a lot of them left the state of Oklahoma. And the people who were left there were left literally with nothing. And again, it was like that dirty little secret for many, many, many years, until like the 1980s. I don't remember the exact year, but I want to say like the 1980s. I get confused when a lot of these politicians say they're fighting for our freedom, but then they work to implement laws that are similar to those North Korea, Russia, etc. Irony. Yeah, they were calling her Mama Fletcher when she spoke at the Capitol. Yeah, I mean, just if nothing else, just out of respect, I was looking for something to find other than Miss, you want to give a level of reverence. But I do want to say this, and then I didn't put it in the title because I know YouTube can be real tricky and iffy about a lot of things. So, and the video may still get demonetized because it was the first thing I talked about, but I ain't really tripping over that. I don't care. When it comes to stuff like this, I don't care about us with our history. What lie was that I did the other day? And I ain't even put Trump name in the title because, they funny about Trump too. I ain't even put Trump name in the title. But they demonetized that video. We talked about Trump, but I was like, well, dang, YouTube, but I don't need me tripping. Here's some other cities. And I retweeted this. I mean, not retweeted. I reposted this on my Instagram. But in case you are interested in reading about other massacres, Black massacres in the United States outside of Tulsa, because maybe you're like, well, I've read about it and I'm familiar with it. Let me give you a few more. Chicago, 1919. Springfield, Illinois, 1908. East St. Louis, 1917. That's East St. Louis, Illinois, not East St. Louis, St. Louis. Detroit, 1943. Washington, 1919. That's Washington. That looks like the state of... That might be Washington, D.C. But no, it doesn't say Washington, D.C. It would generally say Washington, D.C. I'll get back to you on that one. New York, 1863. Memphis, 1866. A lane that looks like Mississippi, 1919. Vicksburg. I know that's Mississippi. 1874. Clinton, Mississippi, 1875. That's a whole lot of Mississippi massacres. Slocum, 1910. That looks like Texas. Colfax, that's Louisiana, 1873. Thibodaux, Louisiana, 1887. New Orleans, 1866. St. Bernard Parish, which is Louisiana, 1868. Rosewood, movie was made about that. You should be probably familiar with that. 1923. Ochi, O-C-O-E-E, Lil Baby, did I say that right? 1920, that's Florida. Camilla, Georgia, 1868. Charleston, South Carolina, 2015. Well, we know what they're talking about when they're referencing that. They're talking about the school. I mean, the church that got shot up. Wilmington, that looks like Wilmington, South Carolina, not Wilmington, Delaware, 1898. Atlanta, 1906. Memphis, 1866. So I put this, I retweeted this. I keep saying retweeted. I reposted this on my, I'm sorry, on my IG, and I'll post it again on my IG in case people didn't catch it, because I posted it. I just reposted it out on my story, so I'll post it up there so you guys can get it. But again, these are just some Black massacres. Some of these I'm familiar with, others I'm not, and I will definitely be putting this on my to-do list for this summer, for myself. Okay. Because some of these I'm not familiar with. Some of these I am. Oh, Philadelphia is on here. I think I missed Philadelphia. And that's Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And that's 1985. Oh, I know what that is. Philadelphia, 1985. That was MOVE, M-O-V-E. The organization MOVE, which was a Black nationalist organization that they actually firebombed. The Philadelphia police actually firebombed the house where they were living in. Okochee. Thank you. Okochee. And that's in Florida, and that was in 1920. So, with that being said, you guys, by all means, please go out and research and learn and give some voices to these massacres. Now, with that being said, I hate to the Elaine massacre was in Arkansas, but it's very close. Okay, it was in Arkansas. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, it looks like it's like right there on the border. Okay, so that is Arkansas. Okay, thank you. And that's Elaine in 1919. Thank you so much, Brandon. So like I said, I have to do some of this research myself, because some of these places some I'm familiar with, some I'm not familiar with. So you learn something new every day. I also want to say happy first day of Pride to all of my LGBTQIA and friends and supporters of. We'll definitely be speaking on that as the month goes on, and definitely make sure y'all are checking out El Teddy. He did a really nice series last year for Pride, and he said he is working on his series this year, and so he has some things planned over on his channel as it relates to Pride. So please make sure that you guys are tuning in for all the things Pride. I was loving. It looks like Coach, the company Coach, like Coach purses and bags. It looks like they were partnering with some very visible LGBTQIA community for a campaign for Coach this month. They have the Coach bags that have like the Pride colors. I saw Stasha Sanchez. I saw Bob the Drag Queen. I saw Jack Mizrahi. Jack Mizrahi. Did I say that right? I hope I said that right. Those are just some of the people that I know I saw pop off the top of my head. So y'all go check that out. I was like, y'all better go ahead. I'm here for it. I am here for it. They have a whole campaign, and all of that. And they have the bags and all that good stuff. So y'all go check it out. So, and I'm sure as the month goes on, there'll be all kinds of things. With them relaxing a lot of the guidelines, they'll be able to have a lot of the things that they weren't able to do last year as it relates to Pride. So, with that being said, hunty, let's jump into this. So, we spoke last week about Naomi Osaka, the tennis champion, who said last week that for the French Open, she was not going to speak with the press. She cited that she had to protect her mental health and that the press has a way of making people doubt themselves and second guess, and that she's just not going to do it. And she was willing to take the hit and take whatever penalty she had to pay, because they are obligated to speak to the media. We talked about that last week. Oh, pause real quick. I did see what somebody said, that there was a documentary on CNN about the Tulsa race riots. I believe there's also one on PBS, and then Auntie Didi, excuse me. There was a documentary on the MOVE organization and how some of the remains of those that were murdered were used for teaching without the family's permission. Like Henrietta Lacks. Oh wow, I didn't know that. There was a documentary on Operation Move. I've seen like 2 or 3 different things. BET, it's either BET or VH1. I mean, not VH1 or TV1. I'm not sure which one it is off the top of my head, but one of the two has a series called Sins of the City. And the first episode, they talked about Minneapolis and George Floyd, but the second episode was about Operation Move in Philadelphia, and that only came on like 2 weeks ago. So if you have either TV1 or BET as a part of your package, it's probably on demand. It's called Sins of the City, and basically what they're doing is, as the series, they're documenting each week. They're documenting another city that has some sort of like thing going, horrible thing that happened in their city, and then they're giving you the history and how it built up. It is BET, right? So if you go to BET, and the reason why I say that is because that's going to probably be the most up-to-date one, because that literally just came out last week. Like, this is a new series. So that's going to probably be the most update information as far as that's concerned. But it was on TV1. Now, one person said BET and one person said TV1. It's on one of them. So check both of them, but it's called Sins of the City. Yeah, so check it out, you guys. I have it in my DVR. I have not looked at it yet. I just know that that's what that episode was about. I just haven't looked at it yet. I've seen, okay, it was on TV when you take it. Yeah, it's in my DVR. So if I paused, I could go look it up, but I didn't want to make y'all have to wait for me to go look for it. But go check it out, you guys, because I haven't looked at it yet, but I've seen other stories on Move and when the police firebombed it. I want to say, you know how Eyes on the Prize had like an 80s version? Like they had the original Eyes on the Prize, which ran through the civil rights movement, and it ended in like the late 1960s. And then they had Eyes on the Prize 2, which ran through the 1970s, and it dealt with busing and all of that. Then they had Eyes on the Prize 3, which went into the 1980s, and it dealt with the crack epidemic and things like that, and Reaganomics and all of that. I want to say they did a segment on that Eyes on the Prize, but Eyes on the Prize only, when they do these segments, they're like maybe 20, 30 minutes. So I would recommend that. Anyway, what's up, Star? Hey, booby. All right, so I picked up my phone to show y'all. Oh, I was going to read the statement by Naomi Osaka. All right, back to Naomi. So Naomi was saying, so what ended up happening on yesterday, Naomi withdrew from the French Open altogether because her preemptive comments on earlier last week, it sort of set off a firestorm. Y'all know how we do. Y'all know how the media does. Everybody wanted to pick apart what she had to say. Everybody wanted to judge what she was doing and why she was doing it. Everybody had an opinion. And I think it probably made things worse for her. And so she did end up withdrawing. Well, yesterday, I'm going to read y'all her statement. It says, "Hey, everyone, this isn't a situation I ever imagined or intended when I posted a few days ago. I think now the best thing for the tournament and the other players and my well-being is that I withdraw so that everyone can get back to focusing on the tennis going on in Paris. I never wanted to be a distraction, and I accept that my timing was not ideal and my message could have been clearer. More importantly, I would never trivialize mental health or use the term lightly. The truth is that I have suffered long bouts of depression since the U.S. Open in 2018, and I have had a really hard time coping with that. Anyone that knows me knows I'm introverted, and anyone that has seen me in the tournament will notice that I'm often wearing headphones, as that helps dull my social anxiety. Though the tennis press has always been kind to me, and I want to apologize especially to all the cool journalists that I may have hurt. I am not a natural public speaker and get huge waves of anxiety before I speak to the world's media. I get really nervous and find it stressful to always try to engage and give you the best answers I can." I didn't get the whole statement. Hold on. Let me get the whole statement because I want to read her whole statement. So hold on. I want to get the whole statement. Now I'm not going to be able to find it. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. I'm sorry. Give me a second. Now I'm not going to be able to find it. Oh, here it is. Okay. So here in Paris, I was already feeling vulnerable and anxious, so I thought it was better to exercise self-care and skip the press conferences. I announced it preemptively because I do feel like the rules are quite outdated in parts, and I wanted to highlight that. I wrote privately to the tournament apologizing and saying that I would be more than happy to speak with them after the tournament as the slams are intense. I'm going to take some time away from the court now, but when the time is right, I really want to work with the tour to discuss ways we can make things better for the players, press, and fans. Anyways, hope you are all doing well and staying safe. Love you guys. I'll see you when I see you." I was watching the French Open live when this news broke. And I believe, I want to say, I don't remember who it was. Let me not lie. But it was two tennis greats that were actually speaking. And I don't remember who it was. I really don't remember who it was. They were really, shocked and upset. And I couldn't tell if they were upset that she withdrew and they weren't going to get a good tournament, or they were upset that she withdrew and why she withdrew. And I don't want to speak for them. I'm glad most of the major tennis stars are showing support for Naomi. No, she was fined for not doing press and threatened with expulsion if she did it again. And so she decided to withdraw. What, expulsion from what, the French Open? Or from the governing body? Oh my God, she's an introvert. I get it. All that action, exhausting. So industrious too. I like that they bucked the system. I want folks to know everyone isn't outgoing in the life of the party and likes attention, and them not being that doesn't make them cold. I support her decision. Black women need to take care of ourselves more. I wholeheartedly support this for her. Her health comes first. The UES. So for somebody like myself who doesn't know, what is the UES? What is that? Is that the governing body for all of tennis, or is that just the people who do the French Open? Because if it was just the people who do the French Open, she withdrew anyway. So I don't think them threatening to expel her, she withdrew. But Okay, from the French Open. So basically, they said either do press or we putting you out. So she just chose to withdraw. Got it. Billie Jean King spoke on it today. I didn't see what Billie Jean King said, but I did see what Serena said. And you know what Serena was, basically what Serena was saying, well, what I interpreted Serena saying, she was like, we're not all the same. Like everybody doesn't handle things the way I would handle things. And, you know, Serena has been beat up for years by the press. I mean, going back to when they were kids, her and her sister, and the things that they've said about them, the things that they've called them, the things that they've had to deal with. And when she said that the depression started with the U.S. Open, remember, that was the U.S. Open where she beat Serena, but where Serena had that controversial call and where she basically cussed out the line judge and she had to apologize. Y'all remember when that whole thing went down, and it became more about Serena and less about Naomi, even though Naomi won the damn tournament. And Serena came out then and publicly congratulated her. And it really wasn't until Serena sort of redirected the press to say, wait a minute, y'all are over here paying attention to what happened to me. I lost. She won. She deserves this attention. And it really wasn't until she sort of redirected the press that anybody really was paying attention to the fact that this girl beat Serena Williams. And she said that her anxiety and her depression stems back from that. So I can only imagine, you're right, at the U.S. Open, I can only imagine how hard that must have been for her to deal with. First of all, people are already going to hate you because you beat Serena. And then it was so controversial the way it went down with Serena and that line judge and how that whole, you know what I mean? She really did get sort of lost in the shuffle. And a lot of people did redirect their anger at her because they were almost like, because remember, Serena is chasing her record. She's chasing a record. Same thing with Tiger Woods. They are chasing this record. And they seem to have gotten to a point where they just can't seem to get over this hump. And so a lot of people were angry with her because people were even saying, well, why didn't you could have just thrown it and you could have just let her win because you knew that it would have given her the record and you're young and you've got plenty of time. I'm like, people were literally telling this girl that she should have, thrown the tournament to Serena so Serena could break the record. So I can only imagine how hard that was for her to deal with. And then in the years since, she's been the one to she's sort of become Serena Williams' Achilles heel a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That line judge can't do any more of Serena's matches. Child. Also, wasn't Naomi like 19? Yeah, she was very young, very young. And then let's not forget the race thing became an issue. She's half black, half Japanese. And, we can't never make black people happy when somebody's mixed. If they want to show any sort of love to the other side of their family, all of a sudden black people got a problem with it. So the fact that she does compete for Japan, people criticized her for that. People criticized her for identifying with her Japanese culture. So she's been under a lot of pressure. When Serena first started out in tennis, her father used to cuss out the press. Oh, child. Listen, they daddy was a lot of things, but he ain't play about when it came to his girls now. He ain't play about that. And people talked about him, but he protected his girls. Now, he might not have been a great dad or husband. I mean, when I say dad, like husband, but baby, he took care, he protected his girls. These institutions are wholeheartedly racist and sexist, so when you go against the grain, you're seen as a problem. That's fact. That is true. Serena doesn't want to throw. Right. Serena, and that's the thing. When somebody is competitive, especially on the level that Serena Williams is competitive, y'all see how intense she is? She doesn't want anything given to her. Matter of fact, I think she would be pissed off if that's how, honestly, if she ended up winning the French Open, I don't think she wants it that way. She wants to beat her. She wants to beat her. Players are conflicted about how to react and choosing safe lines. It's unprecedented. It's an unprecedented situation. Yeah, and we talked about that last week about how more players seem to be taking control more and more than in the past. It seems, but we've been talking about, hey, Trey Lecce. We've been talking about, this whole thing with Kwame Brown and how he was quiet for a long time. And one of the things that I was looking at a live he was doing. I think he did it either yesterday morning or Sunday morning. But he said, like, listen, y'all don't understand that the NBA is an employer. I was an employee. I signed certain things that prohibited me from saying certain things, or I would get in trouble, or I would get fined, or I would get whatever, because it's just like anybody. He said, when y'all go and work for a company and y'all go on y'all first day of work and sign all them damn paperworks and the employee hand guide, you sign certain things. You sign certain agreements about your behavior, about what you will and won't do, and stuff like that. As an educator, if something happens at my school, I can't go and give an interview to the press without going through not just my principal, but the main office for my district. Like there are certain things that you do in any employment situation. And we were talking about that last week, how it seems like athletes are sort of taking more and more control, and I was Sunny said today on The View, she said, athletes, specifically Black athletes or athletes of color, they're, on one hand, we have people telling people like LeBron, shut up and dribble. But then on the other hand, we're saying, but you better show up to that press conference and answer the questions we want you to answer. So it's like, do you want me to talk or not talk? Oh, I can talk, but I can only say what you want me to say. You know what I mean? Some companies make you sign something that says you can't sue them for injury on the job. Oh, yeah, they do that all the time, child. Signing your life away, read the fine print. Yeah. Yeah, she wants to be all upskilled. She appreciates it. Wait. Hey, Xavier. Hey, boo. Serena's like, Beyonce, she works hard on her craft and it shows. Richard Williams went off. He talked about Martha Hingis so bad when she got reckless with her mouth. Martina, excuse me, sorry. Right, and I think there might be a time limit because, and don't quote me on this, but the way he was talking was almost like because like, for example, they have like these non-compete clauses, so it was almost like there was a certain right. Well, that's that famous line, Carolyn. We talked about that last week. Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I won't get fined. We laugh about it in this, because it's funny, but he was dead ass serious. He showed up to those press conferences because he wasn't showing up to the press conferences and he was getting fined. And so he started showing up so that he wouldn't get fined. Like, I'm here. I'm just here so I won't get fined. And he did that whole press conference. Every question they asked him, what was his answer? I'm just here so I won't get fined. I'm just here so I won't get fined. Because his thing was the NFL said I have to show up, but the NFL didn't say I had to answer the question. So I'm just here so I won't get fined. I showed up. And technically, I'm answering your question. I'm just not giving you the answer you want. Yes, it's harder for non-sports teams unless if you have the power. Naomi has the power. Excuse me. Excuse me, y'all. And is using it for good. Yeah, I stand behind her 100%. And I stood behind her last week. I understood what she was saying. I didn't know to the depth, obviously, until she gave her statement yesterday. But I understood what she was saying last week. Like, listen. When I'm in the middle of a tournament, thank you, Lock Queen. When I'm in the middle of competing, there is something about when I have to talk to the press. Thank you, Shawana. After I've either won or lost the match, there is something that it does to me. And I'm not willing to subject that. I know how it affects me, and I'm not willing to object myself to it. That's really how I took what she was saying in her statement last week was there is something that happens with me. I'm not speaking for every athlete. I'm talking about me. There is something that happens to me mentally when I go through these press conferences while I am in the middle of competing. And I am not willing to subject myself to that this time. And she said, and I'm willing to take the hit. And you know what? She put her money where her mouth was because I think going back to what Zaynel, thank you, Zaynel, for telling me that because I didn't know that. But going back to what, and I hope I said your name right. Zaynel. Y'all know I'm terrible with names. Please correct me. And I don't mean no harm, no disrespect. when they threatened her and said, well, either you're going to come to the next press conference or we're going to expel you, she was like, I'll do you one better. I'm going to pack my shit and I'm going to go home. Even if you don't follow sports, even if you don't follow tennis, you know Naomi Osaka's name will draw a crowd. Period. And right now, every tournament, whether it's the US Open, French Open, Australian Open, Wimbledon, out of all of the Grand Slams, every Grand Slam wants to see Serena Williams and Naomi Osaka at the end of the day. That's it. That's all. And I'm not just saying that because they're two black women. I'm saying those two black women are at the top of their game right now in tennis. And they, I think, really gambled on not working with her, thinking that she wouldn't walk away from it. Naomi made a boss move. My little pitiful self didn't even want to talk to my teammates when I had to play a match and was a recreational league. Right, okay. Of course, your emotions are on high, whether you want to lose. The press don't give you a minute to take a... Right, literally, and I don't think people understand that either. They are literally leaving the shower, getting dressed, walking into a press room. They have had no time to compartmentalize. They've had no time to process. And now you have 30, 40 people yelling questions at you. And like she said, have y'all ever watched any of these press conferences? Like, seriously. They ask the same fucking questions 20 times. But it's almost like you have to be the person to ask it for your paper. It's like you can't just take the answer she gave him. You have to be able to say that you asked the damn question. If it's the same question, it's going to be the same damn answer. And then they ask dumb questions. How did it feel when you missed that serve on point break in the, you know, whatever? How the fuck do you think it felt? Crazy. The reporters are sometimes harsh because when Venus was going through the car accident, they kept bringing it up in press that didn't have nothing. Yeah, they do that too. Well, you know they do that. They do that. Don't let it be something going on that's outside. Hell, I mean, with Serena, you know, they be asking her stuff about, you know, her baby and stuff. They I mean, you know, they even asked her, do you think that having a child made you slower? Do you think that is going to cost you the record? Oh my gosh. First of all, how the fuck do you expect her to answer that question? Because if she says yes, then the headline, Serena Williams regrets having her baby. Like, it's just, you can't win. There's certain questions you just can't win. Hey, Yogi, hey. A for effort, pronounce it as though it's French. I failed French, so that's not going to help me. But I'm going to try. People pay big money for those later. Right. Don't nobody listen. Somebody like me would be happy to just say I went to the French Open and I'll buy a ticket to whoever playing, whatever I could afford. Right. But if you really truly, like, I have friends who go to the US Open every year and they get like whatever they call them. Right. And they get to go to the games and they go every year. Star player leaving your competition is not a good look. No, yeah, it's definitely not a good look. It's definitely not a good look. And that's why they're upset. They said because she's messing up their dollars. Oh, yeah. But like she said, you know, I feel like what I hope comes out of this is that the conversation changes. Well, no. Let me change what I just said. What I hope comes out of this is that a conversation gets started. Because when I say changes, ain't nobody been talking about nothing. I hope a conversation gets started. Right. It's literally rinse and repeat. Yep. When they ask personal questions, it what kills me. Right. Of course, they want to see Naomi and Serena. They're the best players in tennis at the moment, but all of these tournaments are just thinking about the money they take off of it. Well, that's their job. Hey, Robert Brown. Yeah, a lot of people, especially female, well, that was dumb. I was going to say something so stupid. A lot of female athletes give birth and they're able to come back. Sports reporters can also provoke situations because they want a reaction. Oh yeah, soundbite, sensational, absolutely. And they ask the same questions over and over again because they want you to give them a different answer, so then they can pick that apart. Oh well, you said 10 minutes ago that yada 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 yada. So now we want to pick it apart, and it becomes a whole nother conversation, child. First of all, the whole "did the baby make you slower" is dumb because she isn't a doctor. How was she? Well, not only that, but my first try was actually good. Oh, okay. I think the first time I said Zanelle. No, that's not French. Zanelle. That wasn't French. That was just me adding a little spice at the end. I'm going to get it though, boo, because you give me some good information. I'm going to get it though. All right. You said Beyonce would tell. First of all, does Beyonce even do press like that? All right. Okay. Well, we'll come back to that. I'm sure we'll hear more about it. I just want to wish her the best. That is actually it. Zanelle. I got it. Got it. By accident, but I got it. Hey. Her first baby bump wasn't real. Anyway, I'm not going to do that. I ain't doing that because that's going to start a whole nother fight. I ain't fighting with y'all today. That's the whole reason she stopped doing press. I ain't mad at it though. Listen. That's what I was thinking. Beyonce didn't really. I don't even remember really doing press like that. Okay, I got it. Okay, thank you. So let me get into this. So China, the country of China. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar or not, but for a long time, China had the 1-kid rule. Unless it was a girl born first, and you could try for a boy, or anything other than that, you either had to abort or get a baby up for adoption. Y'all know that? Well, guess what, y'all? Now they can have 3 kids. Thank you, China. We can have 3 kids now in China. I just thought I would throw that out there in case y'all didn't know. Not the stuff in your grandmother's cabinet. What stuff in my grandmother's cabinet? What you talking about? The 1-kid rule. Well, okay. The 1-kid rule did make sense. It made sense because China was overpopulated and they didn't have nowhere for all them people to live. Now, if China would open up their borders and let people leave the damn country a lot easier under the communist regime, they probably wouldn't have to worry about the population control because a lot of people would probably leave and not come back. That's another conversation for another day. But that's really what it boils down to. Oh, China. Oh, I get it now. Oh, got it. Said that you had to specify that you were talking about the country because my first thought was Black China. See, that's why I said the country. That is why I said the country. I'm hanging in there too. We will catch up offline. I'm claiming for a better week for you. Oh, you're talking. Okay. That's a Zulu name, South African. Go ahead, Zulu. I wish I knew what tribe I was from. Child. Not in the long run. Now all you got is a bunch of men with no women at the same age. No, that's not. No, that's not true, Xavier. Well, okay, no, I see your point. No, I see your point. No, I disagree. I'm changing what I just said. But listen. They just didn't have anywhere. Have y'all not remember the footage of like they literally paid people in the subways in China, literally paid people to push you on the subway. They were called pushers. That was their job, to literally smush you as many people on the train as possible because literally it's just that many people in the country. Japan, Rona numbers are going up. They're trying to see if we're going to have the Olympics. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm afraid of here, that the CDC is moving too fast. People are doing too much, and the numbers are going to start creeping back up, and we're going to be right back. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm afraid of here. That is what I'm afraid of here. I know they better not cancel my damn Olympics. That was selfish. The selfish part of me doesn't want them to cancel the Olympics because I love the Olympics. But obviously, for safety reasons, we will do what we have to do. And I feel for the athletes, too. Because for a lot of those athletes, they got a small window in time. And 1 year could be the difference. A month they're taking about double masking, now no mask. Right. Exactly. So I saw that and I just threw that in there. Now, the rapper DaBaby. Excuse me. Oh. The rapper DaBaby is being held for questioning after a shooting outside of Prime 112 on South Beach. Now, let me tell you something. I like that Prime 112. Hey, Jason, I like that Prime 112. That's a nice restaurant. I go there. I've been there a few times. I've been to the one in South Beach a few times, but I go down to Miami. Anyway, with that being said, very alarming news. Now, this is according to the JasmineBrand.com. According to reports, DaBaby, whose real name is Jonathan Lindell Kirk, was one of several people detained for questioning after a double shooting Monday night on South Beach. Reportedly, the shooting happened just after 1:30 p.m. outside of Prime 112 restaurant on Ocean Drive. 2 people were said to have been shot. One had a leg injury while the other was shot in the shoulder. Now, DaBaby said that he did shoot, but it was in self-defense. Oh, you're in China? Okay, well, I don't mean no. I hope I didn't offend you with my conversation. I mean no disrespect, but am I lying? Just tell me if I'm lying. Am I lying? Tell me if I'm lying. Y'all. Let me say this. We're still very early in this investigation. Hey, Peace Love, what's up? We're still very early in this investigation. And all of this is, this is a lot of allegedlies. Let me throw my allegedlies out. But let me just say this for a minute. This is not the first incident that DaBaby has been involved in reference to a reaction. He was held for questioning in another shooting down in Miami earlier, I think either earlier this year or late last year, something to that effect. We know he had the situation where he put his paws on somebody. Y'all, we have got to figure out a better way of coping. Everything is not self-defense. Every response doesn't have to be you shooting somebody. Sir, you are a millionaire. And if you're not a real millionaire, you a hood millionaire, meaning that the people in the hood think you're a millionaire. So it is what it is. At what point do we let this shit go? Yana say he shot someone in the Walmart, then shot someone on the freeway. So yeah, I think he just likes to shoot people. That's so funny. I'm not laughing at him liking to shoot people. I'm laughing at what she said was funny. Seriously, y'all. Like, all jokes aside, like, at what point? Okay, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, Zanelle. Thank you, boo. Because I don't live there, so I definitely always take insight from the people who are dealing with it on the front line. People do be trying. Xavier. Now I'm only saying that because I know you're a screenwriter. Anyway, they try DaBaby. This is why you get security. Hell, ain't you in a gang where you're set at? Listen, let me explain something. I remember one time. Who was I looking at? It was either Boyz II Men or Ice Cube. And I know that that's like a big difference. I know there's like a wide gap between Boyz II Men or Ice Cube. I think it might have been Boyz II Men. Where they were in an interview and they were talking about people calling them sellouts because they moved out of the hood. And I remember one of them, I don't remember which one it was now. I think it probably was Wanye shit. I don't know. Said, ain't that the goal? Like, ain't that the goal? The goal is to move out the hood, right? So now I'm a sellout because I can afford to live in a better environment. Now, I'm not going down the road of what you should do for your community and how you should help. We're not talking about that right now, okay? I know we can have a whole conversation about each one teach one and all of this. Like, yeah. I ain't talking about that. I'm just talking about the basics of wanting to live in a better place, wanting to be in a better environment, wanting your kids raised around. But I ain't talking about giving back to your community. That's another conversation. We can have that conversation another day. But I'm saying seriously, you go out here and you bust your ass to live in the hood. That's what we do. Hell, even drug dealers leave the neighborhood. The fuck? Criminals leave the neighborhood. I don't understand. And it's this mentality that we just don't want to do better. And when I say we, again, I ain't talking about us, me and you. I'm saying in general, we just don't want to do better. Sir, you have been handed an opportunity that most people would love to have, and you can't stay out of trouble. And I ain't gonna put it on this generation because we saw it as much as I love me some Tupac was the same way. Tupac couldn't stay out of trouble. He was very gifted and very talented. Couldn't stay out of trouble. Now, some of it, he didn't ask for it, came knocking at his door, but he couldn't stay out of trouble. So I'm not making this about, the kids of today. I ain't doing all of that. Allen Iverson, right? We could go down the list and we could come up with people who have been given these opportunities, but part of this I put on us. And when I say us, I don't mean me and you. I mean us as a society, because then we'll flip the script and we'll have somebody like I don't want to use him because I don't like him. I'm trying to think of a good example. I can't think of nobody good right now. But then we'll criticize the same person who takes the opportunity and says, yeah, I'm not doing that. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? And so I just feel like we need to make up our minds. Do we want people to take the opportunities that were given to them and make the best of it and stay out of the hood and make better decisions and not get caught up? Or are we cool with people just staying hood and ignorant their whole life? Because we do it too. We'll be the first to judge somebody. Oh, he ain't hood no more. Look at him. He don't wear his pants sagging off his ass no more. He ain't hood. He ain't real. Oh, look, he got on a suit. He ain't hood. That's what you supposed to do. They do it to Jay-Z. They do it to Jay-Z all the time. They don't do it as much as they used to, but they used to do it to Jay-Z all the time. They used to do it to Jay-Z all the time. But then you see people, I'm trying to think of some people who clean up good, who used to be that, but now, you know, when you see them, it's somebody that I'm specifically thinking about. And there's an example I'm specifically thinking of that it's not coming to me right now. But it's somebody that I am specifically thinking about right now that used to be like thugged out all the time. And now they are always in suits. They are always dressed nice. And it is not coming to me. Not Diddy, but not Diddy. Damn. Hey, Cams. Damn. It's y'all know it's gonna come to me as soon as I get off this live, right? I'm gonna remember as soon as I get off this live. I cannot remember who it was. Damn. Well, Master P, yeah, but that's not who I'm thinking about. But Master P does too. But that's not who I'm thinking about. Jay-Z is one, Nas is one. Yeah, but y'all get the point. It's somebody that I'm specifically thinking about, though. But y'all get the point, though. Ice-T is definitely one. Listen, and let me tell you something. Ice-T will tell you quick. I learned a long time ago that hood shit wasn't going to last. That I was on a fast track to nowhere, and I was going to get it together. And Ice-T is definitely, LL Cool J is another one. He's definitely another one. And my thing is, but we'll be quick to, when I say we, I ain't talking about me and you. We'll be quick. Ludacris is definitely one. Hold on a second, y'all. Sorry, I had to plug my laptop up. Do I think it comes with age? Some of it, yes. Some of it, yeah. I do. I do. But some of it comes with listening to people who are trying to tell you things and understanding that you have moved into a different sphere. Sphere, I should say, not sphere, but sphere. Because listen, I think a lot of times we take things, and y'all got on me the other day when we had this conversation about the bonnets, but to me, this is all connected. We all conform to society's norms. We do. We have to. If we want to be successful, there is a level of conformity on every level. I don't care how hotep you are. I don't care how Rasta you are. I don't care how natural you wear your hair. I don't care how bohemian chic you are. I don't care about none of that. There's a level of conformity that we all do to conform to societal's rules and expectations of us. Method Man is definitely one. Absolutely, he's one. That's just it. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. And so some of it comes from age. At a certain point, you realize, listen, I'm going into the boardroom and I can't walk up in the boardroom with my jeans hanging off my ass with some Timbs and a throwback jersey. Like, that just ain't gonna work. 50 Cent is one. So some of it comes from finding yourself in a different environment and realizing, okay, I got to conform to the environment that I'm in order for people to take me seriously. 50 Cent, walks into boardrooms. You can't walk into boardrooms with G-Unit sneakers on and an oversized tee and a bandana and a hat to the side. And nobody is going to take you seriously. And we can sit here all day long and say all day long, well, he should be able to wear whatever he want to wear. Sure, he can. He absolutely can wear whatever he wants to wear. But if you want to move to that next level and you want to go into that next space, there's a level of conformity. Now, you can create your own space, and that's fine. People do it all the time, and that's great. But guess what you still have to do? You can create your own space. Peace, love. You still in the chat? You still in the bushes? I'm calling you out for a second if you're still there, baby. Peace, love, and I ain't telling nothing that people don't already know. First of all, if y'all not subscribed to Peace, love, y'all go on over there and give her a subscribe. She does on Saturdays. She has her motivation Saturdays. She owns her own business, right? She owns her own business. She is self-employed and she is very successful. She's got degrees on the wall. She's done some things in her life, right? Do you still have a level of conformity, even being in your own boss, even being your own boss? There's still a level of conformity that has taken into effect. It just is what it is. And so I sound like to say, to get back to DaBaby, he's going to have to understand, and whether it's going to come through, he's going to have to learn the lesson the hard way. Because here's the reality. Even a cat only got 9 lives. And as far as I can see, little baby, you on like your 3rd or 4th life, sir. It's only but so many times you're going to be able to pay people off, or people not show up for court, or the charges mysteriously go away. At a certain point, time is going to be up. And I think about some of these people like the Jay-Z's and the Nas's and the 50 Cents. I've heard some of them tell their story, but it's for the ones whose story isn't being told. If you listen to them, I bet you all of them have the same or similar story where somebody, an elder, aka Monique, sat them down and had a conversation and said to them, if you want to get invited to the party, you gotta play the part. It's not by happenstance that the Diddy's of the world and the Jay-Z's of the world and the Nas's of the world are now wearing, $5,000, custom Tom Ford suits. That's not an accident. It's not an accident. Hell, half the kids didn't even know who the hell Tom Ford was until Jay-Z made a song about Tom Ford on his, what album was that? The Black Album? Whatever album that was that after he retired and he came back. Oh, no problem. Give me shelter. Generational talks have more value when I was a younger man. Yeah, I told y'all all the time. As much as I love history, and this comes from me being a history nerd, I love talking to older people. Do you know the wealth that we lose every time somebody older dies? Do you know how much we lose in our oral history when we don't talk? When y'all don't talk to your grandparents and y'all don't talk to your, great aunts and great uncles and y'all don't get the stories, not just about your family, but just about their experiences. Do you know how much you would learn if you just had the conversation? I was talking to my students the other day. We were talking, we're in the 1960s right now. We're almost at the end of the school year, and I try to at least get to Watergate. I ain't gonna make it this year, but I tried. And we were talking about the Black Panthers. And I come to find out one of my students, her grandfather was a member of the Black Panther Party here in DC. DC was one of the biggest chapters that they had in the Black Panther Party at the height. And he's passed on now, but through his children, his stories are told. And so she was able to share with me information about her grandfather, and I actually Googled him. He was very active. And so it's like, we're losing that when we don't have the conversation, and we are also losing it when we disrespect the elder, when they're trying to give us some good shit. Never heard of Tom Ford until Michelle Obama or a British royal wore his outfit. If you can get an elder to talk, so much to be learned. Absolutely. There's a major difference between adjusting to society and being. There is absolutely, it's me, D. There's a major difference between being a quote unquote sellout and just adjusting. Absolutely, there is. We're out here thinking we're doing something. These people have lived. Absolutely. When you start hearing some of these stories, baby, shoot, my grandmother, my father's mother, who I've shared with you guys that I think that my grandmother dealt with my father's mother. I think she dealt with some mental illness. And I think a lot of stuff was written off because, of course, Black folk don't talk about mental illness, especially we talk about the 1940s, 50s, 60s, whatever. And I would sit down and talk to my grandmother, and I learned my grandmother traveled this country. She traveled this country. My grandmother lived in Arizona, California, New York, You know, my grandmother, and when she would tell me some of these stories, my grandmother partied in Vegas in the 40s. Do you know what Vegas was in the 40s? Like, my grandmother ran with gangsters. Like, Vegas was run by the mob until like the 1980s. Hell, it's probably still run by the mob, but y'all know what I'm saying. Do y'all know who built up Vegas in the 1940s? My grandmother was in Vegas in the 1940s. You all know the stories that my grandmother was able to tell me? And she would tell me, like, she ain't care. My grandmother ain't had no cut cards, child. My grandmother told me all her business, okay? She lived in Arizona. Who the hell was living in Arizona in the 1940s? You know what I'm saying? Who was living in Arizona in the 1940s? She lived in California. You know, she was from DC. She just traveled the country. She was born and raised in DC. But she, you know, went out and did they have a whole mob museum, child. I know. Exactly. And so Vegas still being built. Right. That's how I was going to say. Listen, that's how I was going to say. That's why I said, you know, I'm going to leave that there. She probably was a showgirl, child. My grandmother probably was. She probably was, because my grandmother couldn't necessarily pass. She couldn't necessarily pass. However, she had those exotic looks. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know how they used to describe us black folk. We were exotic when we weren't like black, you know. When they couldn't really put a finger on it, we were exotic looking. Yeah. She was like a Dorothy Dandridge type complexion. You born and raised in Vegas? Honey, yes. I'm currently doing, oh wow, Zara. You know what? One of my biggest regrets is my great aunt, who was like the family matriarch. The one I told y'all about her before. The one I told y'all she went to Howard and she pledged Zeta Phi Beta in like the 1930s. Remember I told you? And she knew the founders. This is my great aunt. She's my great aunt. My grandmother's. She wasn't my grandmother's sister, but they were raised like sisters. So anyway, I think she was probably more like my cousin. Y'all know how black folk used to do back in the day. If your mama couldn't take care of you, then you went to go live with the next relative. So they were raised like sisters, but they weren't really blood. Anyway, it don't matter. She was my great aunt. And she, I forgot what I was going to tell you. Oh, she was like the family matriarch. Like, she had the family history, like the oral history right there. But she would be all over the place. Like, she would start off talking about my great uncle Henry. And before I knew it, she started talking about people who I didn't know who they were. And I'd be like, May, who was that? And then she would start telling another story. Oh, I never told you about Carlton. Oh, Carlton. Man, Carlton. And I used to go and visit her. I used to go visit her all the time. I told y'all she was like my favorite aunt. Like, I love, so, but my biggest regret is not, and I kept saying I was going to do it. I kept saying that I was going to get her on tape, and then I would figure out, I would let her just talk, and then I would just go back and listen and then figure it out. But I never did. And that's one of my biggest regrets. Now, I remember a lot of what she told me, but that's one of my biggest regrets. Because she had, she was able to give me my family history on my mother's side, going back to the Civil War. I know that her father fought in the Civil War on the side of the Union. That I know. I know that her mother was a midwife, and she was like the only black midwife in the county that they grew up in. They grew up in a county in Virginia, like one of the rural counties in Virginia. Like, I could go that far back, but I couldn't. But that's so Zara, continue to do that. That is, oh my gosh, continue to do that. There are a lot of different formats and options. I pieced together what I felt was the best parts of a few. Remember, Ricky Williams showed up at press conferences with a helmet on. He needed to have yeah, and remember, we found out years later that Ricky Williams, he dealt with anxiety, and he had a hard time. And remember, he kept failing his drug test for weed, but he was like, that is what calmed him, was the weed, him being able to smoke marijuana and he kept failing the drug test. So it was like he couldn't do one or the other. He couldn't deal with the pressures of being in the NFL because of the anxiety, and weed is what calmed his anxiety. But of course, he couldn't smoke weed because then he would fail the drug test. And we found out after he left the NFL what the breakdown really was. My son does family recordings professionally. I heard one of his projects. It was an older English woman. Wow. Yeah, I'm telling y'all. So anyway, we done went way left, y'all. But y'all know I love it. I don't have no problem going left with y'all. The only other thing I think I had on my agenda tonight is, June is also Black Music Month. So y'all be on the lookout for a whole lot of Black music, documentaries and things like that, probably on TV One and BET. Probably Amazon Prime might be running some things. But I believe on Netflix, is it Netflix? It may be either Netflix or Prime. Hold on, let me. I think it's Netflix. They're doing a documentary about the making of Mary J. Blige's iconic My Life album. It is going to be on Prime Video. It's going to be on Amazon Prime. And the trailer is out, so you guys can go check out the trailer. For those of you who grew up in my generation and, around my generation, listen, you all know the iconicness. Oh, yeah, Juneteenth, definitely Juneteenth. The iconicness that is that Mary J. Blige, My Life album. Listen, the My Life album and the album after My Life, I can see the album cover. The one that has shit. Oh gosh. What was the album that came out after My Life? I can see the album cover. Share My World. That's it. Thank you, Sam J. Listen, if y'all don't have no other album in your record collection when it comes to 90s R&B, if you don't have My Life and Share My World, you better go download it right now. You better run, not walk, run to your Apple's iTunes or wherever you get your music from and get it right now. Because when I tell you the perfection that was, but Mary J. Blige talked about, it's a documentary on the making of the album, and she's talking about how depressed she was and how that was really at her lowest point and how suicidal she was. That was also the height of her, I ain't gonna say the height, but she was very much doing drugs during that time period. By her own, I ain't making this up, by her own words. She was dealing with abusive relationships during this time. Yeah, her first 3 albums absolutely are fire. Absolutely are fire. And if you do not have them in your collection, then you are not a 90s R&B head. You just are not. You just are not. Don't call yourself, because you're not. And for real, you can even pick up the remix, the 411 remix. Go on, get that one too. Just go on, add that one in there. No more drama. I liked certain songs off of No More Drama, but My Life and Share My World, I could just run from beginning to end. Like, I could put it on while I was studying. I could put it on while I was cleaning up the house. Like, it is just a beginning to end. It is a banger. After Casey time, surprised she doing drugs. Yeah, well, she said that. Well, they used to get high together. She said that. She said they used to get high together, honey. And that's also when she had a really bad reputation with the press, because she was nasty. But a lot of times she was nasty because she was either high or coming down off of a high. My life in the sunshine. If you looked at my life, listen, let me tell y'all something. Now, y'all was giving me a hard time last week when I told y'all that I grew up with Genuine and I'm related to him by marriage. So here's another relation to marriage. One of my really good friends, I'm mad Jonathan's not in here because Jonathan will probably know who I'm talking about. One of my friends from Bennett married this guy that we all knew. He went to A&T, and his name was Mtume, right? And I remember the first time I met him, because I met him freshman year, and I remember the first time I met him, I was like, Mtume, like juicy fruit? Because that's the only Mtume I'd ever heard of before was, the song by by M2 you know, Juicy Fruit, right? He was like, yeah, that's my godfather. So of course I was like, oh shit. Okay, well I better leave that. I better not make that joke again. Okay, let me be quiet. Well, fast forward, I met him my freshman year at A&T. Fast forward, he ended up dating a really good friend of mine, and they ended up getting married. Well, I found out because, of course, as a freshman, once he said his godfather was M2, y'all, this is one little piece of hair, just. But once he said that that's your mother's song, I left it alone, obviously, because I was like, well, I already got a little embarrassed, so I'm going to just go on and just keep it moving to the left. So, like I said, fast forward, come to find out, his father is Roy Ayers. Now, if y'all don't know who Roy Ayers is, you go on and Google Roy Ayers. Because at first we were like, yo, girl, that ain't your goddaddy. Like, you making that up because that's just, you probably get jokes about M2 all the time. Well, come to find out that really was his godfather because Roy Ayers is his father. And when they got married, Roy Ayers played at the reception. I got to meet Roy Ayers. Now, we didn't do like pictures and stuff like that because it was his son's wedding and we didn't want to be like. But the reason why I brought it up because that song, If You Looked at My Life to See What I See, that's a sample off of Roy Ayers. If you don't know who Roy Ayers is, you do know who Roy Ayers is. Go listen, just go Google Roy Ayers and listen to some of his music on YouTube. He sampled a lot, but that is definitely one of his songs that was sampled. He played it at the reception. My life, my life, my life, my life. That's Roy Ayers. That's a Roy Ayers song. And so I've gone to see him a few times. When he comes to DC for the Capitol Jazz Fest, we've been able to go. They've been able to get us tickets and stuff like that. Yeah. So it was cool. It was real cool. Cause like I said, freshman year when he said M2 was his godfather, I was like, whatever, boy. And then fast forward, and then by the time, so like remember when we were I don't know this, but I'm telling you, my freshman year, that song wasn't out yet. I mean, Roy Ayers was still a great jazz musician, but he wasn't as mainstream among our generation. Like a lot of us got introduced to Roy Ayers because of his music being sampled through hip hop, right? Through 90s hip hop and R&B. And so by the time 3 or 4 years later, when my friend started dating M2 and we kind of got reconnected because we had lost touch. We weren't like we didn't hang out like that. We had kind of lost touch. And so we kind of got reintroduced because M2 the way we got reintroduced was fast forward about 3 years later, he ended up being roommates with another friend of mine was dating his roommate. And we all went over there one night hanging out at their apartment, you know, watching movies and stuff. And I was like, and we were like, okay. And that's actually how my friend met him because we all used to hang out over their apartment. And that's how they met up and that's how they started dating. And so, by the time I met back up with him, that album was out. My Life was out. Yeah. Everybody loves the sunshine. Yep, that's Roy Ayers too. Yep. Everybody loves the sun. Yeah, I'm telling y'all. So anyway, y'all be getting me over here rambling and stuff. But yeah, so I'm gonna look at the documentary. I'm definitely gonna watch it. I remember I've heard Mary J. Blige speak on that time in her life before. She has spoken on it before. She has spoken about how dark that time was. But I'm definitely here because, you know, in this, like in a documentary format, of course they're talking to Diddy. Of course they're going to be talking to other people in her life around that time. And you'll be able to get those perspectives from the other side as well. That's a great song to smoke. Oh, it's me, D. Yeah, it's great cookout music. Absolutely it is. It's great cookout music. Yeah. Y'all, I'm about to get off of here. It is almost 8:30. But I came on late. Y'all know I didn't come on until 7 o'clock because I was eating my dinner, honey. Eating my dinner. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for coming through. Make sure y'all check out the Avon link. I know that you know what, Zara, you didn't. I really didn't talk about Versuz. I'm gonna tell you why I didn't talk about Versuz. It was good. I mean, I watched it. It was good. I enjoyed it. I don't really have a whole lot to say about it. But I did enjoy it though. I enjoyed it. I watched it. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch all of it. I kind of came in and out. I watched like the first maybe 30, 40 minutes straight, and then I kind of left out, and then I kind of just checked back in. So if anything miraculous happened in the second half, I don't remember all of it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't see all of it. But I enjoyed it. Timberland looked good. Timberland looked, yeah, he definitely has lost some weight and all that good stuff. What was that? Probably some Versace or something that Timberland had on. That was probably like a Versace silk. I was surprised to see him in like a short set. Like, that surprised me. Or what he had on. I listened to the curated list on Tidal and I skipped through half of the playlist, so there was nothing from the Versuz to discuss. I mean, I liked it. Like I said, I enjoyed it. I liked it, but it just wasn't, it didn't, I mean, I didn't have a whole lot to add to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are definitely great producers. They've given us some great music. I feel like they leaned real heavy on DMX in the beginning. And I mean, for obvious reasons, but I feel like they definitely leaned heavy on DMX. I know in the beginning, I felt like DMX and Jay-Z, I feel like I heard more DMX and Jay-Z songs in the beginning. I was like, okay. I thought it was a cute outfit. I was just surprised to see him in it. You know what I'm saying? And by the end of the night, he was just a big old pile of sweat. Now, did Missy come out? Because if Missy came out on stage, I missed it. Did Missy come out on stage? Because I saw them do a couple of her songs. But I didn't, because they kept saying they were going to bring out some special guests. But I never remember seeing no special guests. No, it's okay. Zara, I usually go live during the week. Usually around 6:30. I was late today. Around 7, but I'm usually live around 6:30 for the most part, Monday through Friday. I mean, I do miss days if I have other things I have to do or things going on. But generally speaking, I'm here Monday through Friday, 6:30-ish, between the hour of 6 and 7. Yeah. It was a dipping out. So Missy did come through. They they played Aaliyah a lot too. Listen, I love me some Missy. Now that's what I mean. I'm gonna be honest with you. I figured. Now, when they did it the first time, we were at the height of the COVID. We were locked down, and they were literally just sitting in their studios, playing music back and forth on Instagram. I thought it would have evolved. I was expecting people to come out on stage. I'm not gonna lie. I kept waiting. They even said they was gonna have special guests, and they had a live audience. I was just waiting for people to come through, and I just never saw that. And I kept saying, okay, but I'm gonna go back and watch the rest of it. But when I didn't hear people talking about it, I figured nobody really did anything. I figured nobody really came out on stage. Why hasn't Missy gone against anyone? Who the fuck is Missy gonna go against? Name me, and it doesn't have to be a female producer, okay? But I'm just saying for the purposes of the conversation, what female producer is going against Missy? I'll wait. And it doesn't have to be a female. Hell, what male producer is going against Missy? That hasn't already done one. Who going against Missy? Missy is one of those people that I think most people, until she does do something like a Versuz, I don't think people understand how much music Missy has done. I think people know that she has her solo projects, and I know people know that she's done here and there. But who is Miss? Like, I don't think y'all. When I say y'all again, I don't mean you, but I don't think people realize how much music Missy has out there. She's like the baby face. Like, when you start hearing the music, you be like, oh fuck, I forgot about that. Oh damn, I didn't remember when Babyface did his verses against Teddy Riley, and like he kept playing songs and people was like, oh damn, I forgot about that. Oh shoot, he did that. Like Now she could do that. That would be cool. See, Golden, a Missy and Friends. That would be cool. A Missy and Friends, like what D'Angelo did. Now that would be cool. Because think about it. I mean, Missy, again, you think about the people Missy has produced for, honey. Oh, you know who Missy could probably go against? Jermaine Dupri. I think Missy and Jermaine Dupri would make a good versus. Pharrell is a good one. That is a good one. Sam, that's a good one. Missy versus Pharrell is an excellent one. Yep. Dark Child. Ooh. Dark Child wouldn't be bad. Oh, that would be a good one. Dark Child would be a good one, y'all. See, now y'all coming up with some good ones. Dark Child would absolutely be a good one. Where the white people that came from on the verses? We had white people on the verses? Yeah, Pharrell and Missy are both from Virginia. Yeah, Dark Child did do a lot. Dark Child did Brandy, Destiny's Child. I mean, just off the top of my head, those are the first two people I think of when I think about Dark Child. Those are the first two people I think about. Is Destiny's Child and Brandy. Yeah, now that is a good one, y'all. See, y'all coming up with some good ones. But let me tell you something. I would be parked in front of my TV if they gave me a Missy anything. Now, Diddy, I would love to see Diddy versus Jermaine. And I don't think that Jermaine has as much of an arsenal as Diddy has, but I think it would be a great battle. Like, if you put So Def against Bad Boy, I'm here for it. I am here for So Def versus Bad Boy. Yeah, Tony Braxton, Dark Child. You know, I don't want to see no Justin Timberlake. Yeah, no, I'm not here for that. No. I don't want to see Justin Timberlake anyway, period. Just period. Nope. Child, Diddy ain't giving Mace no money. Diddy is not giving Mace no money. You can let that one go. And we about to sit here and start worrying about people that Diddy owe money to, child. He owe money to everybody on Bad Boy. Yeah, So Def versus Bad Boy. Now that would be epic. I would be here for. I told y'all, I think that might be the last concert I went to, y'all. I think that might be the last. Let me think before I tell a lie. I'm gonna just say this. That was one of the last concerts I went to, was the Bad Boy reunion tour. And when I tell you I was here for it, I was here for it. First of all, the tickets were during the week, and I don't think I paid attention to the calendar when I bought them tickets, because I don't know, I might have had to second guess that thing. Second of all, I went to work the next day and had no voice. When I say no voice, I mean no voice. Like, no voice. Trying to teach with no voice. Right. Diddy ain't giving nobody no money. Shit. Mace would be lucky to get invited to Diddy New Year's Eve party, honey. That's the best. That's the only money he getting. I'll buy you an outfit for my all-white party so that you be in dress code. That's it. That's all. That's all he getting. That's all he get. Right. Dark Child 99. Say my name. Say my name. Child. Yeah, that's some good ones. Those are some good ones, though. I definitely would be here for that. I would definitely be here for that. I saw somebody say Salt and Pepper versus TLC. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Because one, I don't even think they match up. They don't match up genre-wise, and they really don't match up age-wise. Like they're two different. Those are two different. Hey, crackhead Willie. Those are like two different age groups. Like somebody like myself. I mean, I was a Salt and Pepper fan and a TLC fan, but I don't know. They're different. Like Salt and Pepper is just straight rap. I mean, until you get into the later in their career where they were kind of like holding on when they did, they did the ones with In Vogue and stuff like that. You didn't get R&B from Salt and Pepper. Like you didn't get R&B. I need to see Spinderella. Yeah, if it ain't got Spinderella, I don't want it. TLC versus Boyz II Men. I don't know about that. Whoa. Jason, I love you, Jason. We be here a lot of the time, Jason. But what you will not do is be spirtify Salt and Pepper. Listen, I don't like what Salt and Pepper did to Spin. I don't like what Pepper did to her face. But you will not be smirchified. And yes, I said be smirchified Salt and Pepper. We're not doing that here. We're not doing that here. No, ma'am. No, sir. I love you, Jason. They did. But that don't listen. We're gonna separate the music from the people, just like with our Kelly. I mean, but I can acknowledge the fact that the man makes some good music. Okay, he other things too, but I can't take away from the fact that the man makes some good music. Right? Peace, love, be smirchified. Let me be smirchifying their name. Child, and what Pepper did to her butt. Yeah, let's just say her whole body. She another one. We're going to put her in the category with a Lil' Kim, who just was never happy with what she saw in the mirror. But listen, that's another story for another day. We can go down the whole rabbit hole when we start getting into that. Okay, that's a whole nother rabbit hole. I wouldn't mind seeing a Dru Hill versus Jodeci. Even though Jodeci got more hits than Dru Hill, I'll be here for it. Again, I'd be here for the battle. I just want to see them do the Dru Hill hop. And I just want to see KC and JoJo just sing for 10 minutes after the music stopped and the little veins be coming out of KC neck. But I would be here for that. I would definitely be here for a Dru Hill Jodeci versus. I'd be here for it. Now, JoJo is saved now and he is making gospel, and I wonder if he would do it. Stephanie Mills. Oh gosh. Let me see. Who could Stephanie Mills now? We're talking about 80s now. I don't know if any of y'all, when I say any of y'all, I know some of y'all can roll with that. But who would Stephanie Mills be good with, y'all? Denise Williams. I could see Stephanie Mills and Denise Williams would be a good one. He's another one that gets real sweaty. Could have been on crack, though. Well, we know that. I mean, when it came to KC, can Dru Hill get along for a versus? Well, let's be clear. It probably wouldn't be the original Dru Hill. It would probably be like Cisco and 4 niggas. Mickey Howard. I used to love me some Mickey Howard. Ooh. Come, share. Yeah, I wish I could sing. If I could sing, y'all wouldn't be able to tell me shit. Let me tell y'all something. If I could sing and had a flat stomach, bitch, couldn't tell me shit. Couldn't tell me nothing. Nita Baker, but listen. Who could Nita go against? Nita Baker be having an attitude, though. I don't know if anybody want to fool with her. Nita Baker be having an attitude, Okay, she be a little attitudinal. Okay, Jason, listen, all due respect, Cheryl Pepsi Riley had one hit. Name me 3 other songs other than Thanks for My Child. Name me 3 more. Hits. Not songs that you know. Hits. That would be a commercial for Versuz, okay? Anita versus Tony. See, again, they both have hits, but they're in 2 different time periods. Anita Baker is that 80s R&B, and Tony Braxton is like that 90s. I don't know. Yeah, Cheryl Pepsi probably had one song. Cheryl Pepsi, Thanks for My Child. Shaka Khan versus Jody Watley. Jody Watley? Come on. See, now y'all just getting ridiculous. Jody Watley, I love Jody Watley, but Jody Watley had like 3 hits. Shaka Khan had 3 hits in 1974 by herself with Rufus. She wouldn't even have to come out the Rufus era to beat up on her. And I like me some Jody Watley. I'm looking for real love. You were my everything. Name me 5 more. See, y'all playing with me. Joe versus let me tell you something. Joe versus Maxwell. I would want to see in 9 months what the delivery room is looking like, because that's some baby making. Listen. Your Love is King. Crying You With My Heart. Are you talking about Sade? Y'all must be talking about Sade with Your Love is King. Don't You Want Me? Okay, that's another one. Don't You Want Me? You're right. That's another one. Jody mad Howard Hewitt was the voice of Shalimar. Child, Jody Watley is still mad at Howard Hewitt. Okay, we just gonna that is a feud that will never end. I think part of the anger with them is that they had a romantic entanglement, and so I think that adds an element to it. You know, I think that adds an element that there was that romantical entanglement there. You know. Listen, y'all done said my husband got a vasectomy and I would get pregnant off of Joe and Maxwell. Listen, I'm telling y'all, that is some baby making music right there. A night of Joe and Max. Bitch. Listen, let me tell you something. That Till the Cops Come Knocking is that's still a banger. I was listening to Pretty Wings this morning when I was getting ready for work. Shaka Khan versus Vesta. Okay, again, y'all. Why do y'all keep wanting to put the icon that is Shaka Khan? I love me some Vesta. Don't get it twisted. I love me some Vesta. But Vesta catalog can't go up against... Do y'all understand Shaka Khan's catalog? Shaka Khan started making hits in the mid-70s, and she didn't stop. Do y'all understand the catalog that is Shaka Khan? I don't think y'all do. Shaka Khan. Y'all don't know. Man. No, Vesta's passed away. Oh, now that Shaka Khan versus Tina Turner, bitch. Oh, okay. I'm about to get off of here because I was getting ready to say something that was in very poor taste. Ooh. Y'all. That wasn't about to be nice. Anyway. Oh, Tina Marie. Now that would have, Tina Marie. Because again, Tina Marie goes way back too. Tina Marie would be the good one. Tina Marie would have been a good one. I would love, rest in peace to Tina Marie. Tina Marie is somebody I would have loved to see it do a live because she was a musician. I would love to see, because I saw Tina Marie in concert a few times, and let me tell you something. You're going to get a show. You are going to get a show. Yeah, oh no, Tina Turner couldn't do a Versuz. No, she's not. Yeah, Tina Marie is gone too. Melba Moore would be good. Yeah, Tina said, I'm out. I found my Swiss millionaire, and I'm going to go live over here in Switzerland, and I'm good. Okay, all I'm gonna say is this, Xavier, and I'm not gonna say it all the way out, but you just gonna have to know the history. When y'all say Shaka Khan versus Tina Turner, the first thing I thought about was Ike Turner and Rufus. Now, if you know the history, you know the history, and you can go from there. You can take it from there. We know that Shaka Khan was with Rufus, and we know that Tina Turner was with Ike. Y'all can take it from there. You got it, Sam J. Janet versus Madonna. That's about the only two people that could probably battle each other, but I don't want to see no Pasta, no Madonna versus. She already thinks she can call her son nigga, so I certainly don't want her at the down to the verses. She really thinks she got her card, honey. See, Regina? Oh, Valerie Simpson. You know what? I would love to do a Valerie Simpson and Friends. I wouldn't even want her to battle nobody. I would love to hear her tell the stories. She wrote, I mean, again, we're going back to Motown, her and her husband, and the music they wrote for other people. I would love to hear that. Yeah, her voice is sort of gone. But again, she ain't got to sing. Ooh, SOS Band versus Midnight Star. Ooh, that would be good. That would be good. That'd be a good one. Okay, going back to the 80s. Because we give people like Madonna a pass. We be giving them passes. That's how she got away with it. We be trying to give them passes. Right. Solid as a rock. Ain't no mountain high enough. Stevie versus Smokey. Yeah, Babyface had details. And I think Valerie Simpson would tell good stories. Because, you know, her and her husband, I don't know if they still own it or not, but they had a club at one time. And, you know, they would play from time to time. Let me say this, It's Me D. If Amy Winehouse had not died, I would love to see what she would have done. She was so talented, and I love her music. I love Amy Winehouse's music, and she was so talented, and she was such a great writer. That would have definitely been a good versus. But unfortunately, I just don't think. I mean, Adele has more music. Yeah. And again, you know, Stevie Wonder also has music that he's produced for other people. So so does Smokey Robinson. So yeah, they would, because Smokey Robinson, you gotta remember, he goes back to the early '60s with the Miracles, and then we got Stevie Wonder, who started at 12. Was Little Stevie was 12? What was it? Fingerprints. Fingerprints was at 12, I think. I don't get Adele at all. I love Adele, but Adele, let me tell you something. I love Adele. Adele is good breakup music. Like, you can't listen to Adele if you happy. Adele is good breakup music. But Adele is definitely somebody to listen to. She good breakup music. Ooh. Ooh. Lamone, listen. Elton John is the only white person I'm inviting to verses. If Elton John yes, you're right. Stevie Wonder and Elton John, it will break the fucking internet. And he the only white person I'm inviting to verses. He the only one. He the only one that can come. Elton John can come. I wanted to see Elton John when he was in Vegas. Oh my gosh, I wanted to see him in Vegas. And then when he did his farewell tour, when he came to DC, I mean, obviously the tickets were, you know, a lot. But remember the other day when I was talking about paying $300 and stuff? I would have paid $300 to see Elton John. I would have absolutely paid. But what ended up happening? I think when he was going to be in DC, I was going to be out of town. Give me shelter. Thank you for the super chat. I'm mad that the cast of Hamilton. Girl, thank you for the super chat. Oh, Billy Joel. I might have to extend the invitation to Billy Joel. I love Billy Joel. Listen, don't get me started with my 80s Don't get me started with my 80s rock. Listen. Hall & Oates. See, we about to go down a whole nother rabbit hole. I love Elton John, but we can't crack the door. Oh, I can't. Listen, I'm letting Elton in the back door. If Elton show up, I'm sneaking him in the back door. I'm sneaking him in the back door. I don't know if we can sneak in Phil Collins. Phil Collins broke up with his wife through a fax. Y'all remember that? He sent his wife a fax saying he wanted a divorce. I don't know. I like me some Phil Collins, but I don't know about that. I don't know if you can come to the cookout. Me too, Give Me Shelter. I love my 80s music. Joe's remake of Adele's Hello is, oh, I gotta hear it. I ain't never heard it. Joe redid Hello? Oh, I gotta go find that. George Michael. Y'all broke my heart when I found. Listen, I was a little suspect of George Michael when I found out. All right, so y'all got me. Listen, I've been on here almost 2 hours. I'm gonna tell y'all this story, then we're gonna get off of here, okay? But so I grew up, I'm an 80s baby or whatever. And I grew up listening to Casey Kasem Countdown. Y'all remember Casey Kasem's Countdown every Saturday morning? And he would count down the top 10 songs. And da-da-da-da-da. So I would listen to his countdown. Then they did the countdown, like, I want to say they did it every day on, the white radio station. But I know they did it like every Saturday. And y'all know Casey Kasem would tell stories behind the songs. He would find out the stories. And I remember when Wake Me Up Before You Go first came out, when he was still with Wham. And I remember Casey Kasem said that the song Wake Me Up Before You Go came from a note that George Michael's roommate wrote him. And his roommate happened to be his bandmate, the other guy, the other half of Wham. When you listen to the words of Wake Me Up Before You Go, it sounded a little suspect. And that was a little suspect, but I let it go because I was like, that's just some story they just told. But when you listen to the words, Wake Me Up Before You Go, I'm not planning on living solo. Take Me Dancing Tonight. Listen to it, It's Me D. Go back and listen to Wake Me Up Before You Go. He said it was based on a letter. So that's when I kind of was a little suspect. But when I found out that he was really gay, I was like, damn. As if I ever had a chance. But I was like, damn. Hell, even my mama was in love with her some George Michael. I remember when I Want Your Sex came out. Bitch. My mama bought I remember the tape. My mama used to listen to the tape in her car. I said, but she used to like Careless Whisper. That was her shit. Careless Whisper. But my mother loved that whole tape. She had it in her car. And she ain't had the I Want Your Love version. She had the I Want Your Sex version. What man you asking for his sex, mama? It wasn't obvious to me, Abby. In the 80s, a little suspect, the man had on Dukes. Feathered hair. But he was British. I just thought that's what they did over there in British, child. Father Figure. Yeah, Father Figure was on there too. Oh, Father Figure. I will be your father. Me and my friends had a whole routine. Well, maybe not to you, Abby, but to me, he did. Especially talking about I Want Your Sex with all them women in the video. I'm just saying. I will shoot my shot, child. The Freedom album, yeah, Freedom was a good album too, yeah. Abby, I just said to you, but to me he did. Damn. Beverly Hills 2 strip club scene, I Want Your Sex, yeah. Oh, Jimmy Cliff versus Bob Marley. Now, I love me some Bob Marley. I think that would be a good matchup for Bob Marley. But in my mind, Bob Marley would just win because of how much I love me some Bob Marley. He would just win. Right. The men in the 80s were, that word. The more right. I mean, think about a lot of men. Look at the big hair bands with the eyeliner and the big hair and the tight pants. And like, it was a whole lot of men that could have been suspect, but they weren't gay. One More Try. Ooh, One More Try was a good one. Androgynous. That's the word I was looking for. Androgynous. Annie Lennox. Hell, Annie Lennox. I used to love, I used to love me some Eurythmics. Prince. People swore Prince was gay. Swore up and down Prince was gay. David Bowie. Gregory Isaacs. Whole lot of people from the 80s. Whole lot of people from the 80s they thought was gay, honey. Now, Boy George, we knew. Sweet Dreams, absolutely. Big hair and shoulder pads, absolutely. Is that supposed to be Sylvester? I don't want to see Sylvester versus nobody. You make me feel. Folks' pride was hurt by Prince not being gay. Oh yeah, they tried. They tried to make that man gay. Lord, they tried. Yeah, Boy George, yeah. Nobody was shocked by that. The only thing that was shocked was that you were sleeping with the drummer, but nobody was shocked that you was gay. We were shocked that maybe that you were sleeping with the drummer. Martha Wash, that would be good. Oh, I love Boy George. I love me some Culture Club. Love Culture Club. That's a good one. Jeffrey Osborne versus Peabo Bryson. Rest in peace. That's a good one. Oh, yeah, peace, love. You ain't know? Oh, yes, honey. They were sleeping together. But they was a DL couple because the drummer wasn't out. He wasn't gay. And even to this day, he was swearing down that he's not gay. But him and Boy George, they had a whole affair, honey. And Boy George outed him because the man had a whole girlfriend. Boy George was the DL lover, honey. Yes. Go back to like the old days of VH1 Behind the Music. Child, Boy George told it all. He told it all. Oh, yes, honey. Boy George told it all, honey. Go back to like the old, thank you, peace. Thank you, peace, love. Go back to the old Culture Club, honey. Go back to the old Culture Club album. And the drummer. Him and Boy George, and it was abusive. It was abusive, too. The guy was abusive to Boy George. He used to hit him and stuff. Honey, yes, Boy George outed all of that. He aired all they dirty laundry, honey. Peabo Bryson, I thought Peabo Bryson died a few years ago. Then who am I thinking about that died? Hold on, y'all. Who am I thinking about? Somebody died. I thought it was people. I would go see Boy George in concert. I've never seen Boy George live. I would go see Boy George in concert. Okay, y'all know I always be killing people. I'm sorry. No disrespect, Peabo Bryson. But somebody else died that's in that genre. I'm not thinking about Teddy Pendergrass. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to kill Peabo. Who was it? No, they said Peabo Bryson didn't die. Sorry, y'all. That's me. Right. The 100 Ways guy. James Ingram. James Ingram is the one that died. I'm sorry. James Ingram. I'm sorry. Not Peabo. My bad. James Ingram, not Peabo Bryson. Yeah, go on and email to read. Because I would definitely go see Boy George in concert. I absolutely would. Karma. I even like some of his solo stuff. Boy George has a couple of nice songs after he went solo. Mm-hmm. They were torn together before COVID. Well, I guess he ain't dead then. Regina Belle versus Shanice. It's me, D. Again, Shanice definitely did not get the shot she deserved, and she is definitely very, very talented. But name me one other song other than I Love Your Smile. I wait. But Regina Belle, remember, and you know, Regina Belle has gone on to he had a baby. Ooh, these old ass men with these babies. People Bryson know good and damn well he don't need to be having no babies out here. Now he know good and well he don't need to be having no babies out here. Can I? Anyone remember? The name of the song is called Can I? All I remember is Ray J. Can I? I don't think that's what you're talking about though. She can put I Love Your Smile on repeat. You know. Listen, baby, listen. I don't think a lot of people realize that Regina Belle, she has done, she does a lot of music, like she produces, like she's in charge of music for a lot of like award shows and stuff like that. She's done a lot of that type stuff now. Freddie Jackson versus Kashif. I don't know about versus Kashif, but I would be here for Freddie Jackson versus somebody. I don't know about Kashif. I like Kashif though, but I don't know about Kashif, y'all. I don't know about Kashif. Shanice and Tracy Spencer, they would be, yeah, they could open because that ain't gonna last for 10 minutes. David Peaston. I remember. Y'all remember David Peaston? I remember David Peaston. He had a couple of nice hits back in the R&B days of the 80s. People Wife is about 38. I love me some Jeffrey Osborne. What a difference. I told y'all if I could sing, bitch, I'd be in trouble. Oh, that would be a good unsung. Tracy Spencer would be a really good unsung. Tender kisses. That would be a good unsung. I know that's right, Bap. That absolutely was a great one. If Aaliyah was alive, who would I put her against? It would depend on, because I think Aaliyah had a couple of more good albums out in her before. Everything that goes up must come down. So I'm not saying it would have lasted forever, but I think with her teamed up with Timbaland, I think we could have got a couple of more good albums out of Aaliyah. But I also think Aaliyah's acting career would have taken off, and I think she probably would have ended up not singing as much anymore. I think her acting career would have absolutely taken off, and I think we would have gotten less and less music out of her. You know what? And this is where I'm going to drop the mic and I'm getting out of here because it's been 2 hours. Lamone, you are absolutely correct, and I'm here for this. I am here for all of that. Lionel Richie and the Commodores versus Jeffrey Osborne and LTD. Oh, I'm here for all of that. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I am here for all of that. I'm here for all of that. Aaliyah wouldn't have stayed in music. I saw her career. Yeah, I agree, little baby. I think she probably would have done maybe 1 or 2 more albums, and then she probably would have definitely pivoted. She'd be like the LL Cool J. Like, you know how like LL Cool J, like he never needs to make another album ever. And I love LL. I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying, Ice Cube, but LL, you know what I'm saying? I definitely saw her career going in that direction. I agree. Shawana, you don't know LTD? That's the group that Jeffrey Osborne came from. You know their music. You've heard their music. You've heard their music. Shit, Hell Melvin and the Blue Notes. could probably get in on that. Yeah, I would be here for that. Oh my goodness, I'd be here for that. Ooh, the OJs. The OJs could get in on that too. You know who I would like to see the OJs go against? What's the name of that group? The Ohio Players. The OJs versus the Ohio Players. I'm here for that. Child, I got Aaliyah's music. I got the songs I want. I'm good. They can do what they want to do with it. I got the songs I want. Love, Tender, and Devotion. Probably. I never knew what LTD stood for, but I knew the group. OJs versus Maze. I don't know. I want to see the OJs versus the Ohio Players. I'd be here for that. Oh my gosh. Zoom is one of my favorite songs about it. I love the Commodores. My favorite song is Ease on Down the Road. Listen, I mean, what is it? Ease, not easy. What is it? Sail On. That's it. Listen, I need y'all to listen to the lyrics of Sail On. Lionel Richie is talking cold shit to that woman. He is talking cold shit to that woman. Y'all need to go back and listen to the words of Sail On. Y'all need to listen to it. He says, sail on down the road a half a mile or so. Don't really want to know where you're going. He said, I don't really give a bye. Just leave. He said, a small town boy like me just wasn't your cup of tea. Wasn't your cup of tea. Now you're going. He said, I know it's a shame, but I'm giving you back your name. Listen, he's talking shit. Y'all gotta go back and listen to the words of Sail On. He's talking shit. He's talking trash. And it sound pretty. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of those songs where it sound real pretty, but when you listen to the words, you're like, what he said? Listen. I'm telling y'all, I used to do that song when I used to do karaoke, and I would talk the song, and I would sort of like ad-lib, because people didn't realize how much trash he was talking. And if you listen to Zoom, he's talking shit in Zoom too. Zoom, I'd like to go away. I'd like to fly away. He's talking a little bit of trash in Zoom too. But Sail On, oh, he's talking a lot of shit to Sail On. And it's a country song. You're absolutely correct, Lamont. And it's a country song. Y'all, it's 9 o'clock. I gotta get off of here. Yeah, Shawbird, we got it. James Ingram, thank you, boo. So let me get off of here. Thank you. First of all, thank you for the super chats. Give me shelter and peace, love. It is much appreciated. Let me check my Cash App before I get off of here, because I always look and then because my phone is on silent. So I look and then I'll be like, dang, somebody send me a Cash App. So let me make sure before I get off of here. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that was yesterday. Thank you, Reese's Pieces sent me. See, I missed it. Reese Pieces sent me. I just saw somebody else sent me a Cash App. I didn't even see it. Oh shit. I hate when I be missing stuff. We're not doing that bad. Yeah, Star, you a little late. We went way left, y'all. I don't know how we went from Mary J. Blige to the Versuz. Well, no, I know, because Zara wanted to talk about the Versuz. And y'all know I'm always here to talk about music. I love music. I can do this all night, but I can't tonight because I gotta go. I gotta get ready to go to work tomorrow. Well, technically I ain't going to work tomorrow, but I got an 8 o'clock meeting, and then I have a 9:30 meeting. So I got some stuff I got to do tomorrow. But y'all, thank y'all for being here. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button on your way out the door. Thank you so much, everybody who was here. I really, really appreciate it.